It's a Saturday morning, and you've decided today's the day you finally take care of the air conditioner. You drag the hose around back, thumb the nozzle to that strong jet setting, and go at the side of that unit like you're washing mud off a truck. Feels productive, looks cleaner already. And here's the part that'll bother you. The homeowners who wreck their air conditioners aren't the ones who ignore them. It's the responsible ones, the folks out there every summer with a hose, doing exactly what a good homeowner should. And they're right to. Cleaning that unit is what keeps it alive. But there's a way to do it that turns a free chore into a $900 one, and it's the way almost everybody does it. 25 years I did this, cooling and heating both, and I could spot this exact mistake from the driveway before I ever set the brake. 10 minutes with the wrong thing on the end of that hose, and you'll do more damage to that unit than 10 summers of dirt ever could. So tonight I'll show you what that damage actually is, why your unit is probably running weaker than it should right now, and how to tell in about a minute without pulling a single panel. And if you've already done it, stick around because there's a $6 tool that undoes most of it. Let's go to the moment it happens. You're standing there with the hose, the unit's dusty, cottonwood and clippings matted into the side of it, and you want it gone. So you click that nozzle to the setting that actually blasts because the gentle one doesn't feel like it's doing anything, and you let it have it, straight into the side of the unit. That patch is now damaged, and to see why, you have to know what you're looking at. On the sides of that box, not the top, sit thousands of thin metal slats packed in tight. Those are the fins, and they're the whole job. Your air conditioner doesn't make cold, it moves heat, and it dumps that heat into the open air through those fins, the way the radiator in your car sheds engine heat. The whole thing runs on surface area, thin metal packed close so as much of it as possible touches the passing air. And those fins are the fragile part. They're about as thick as the wall of a soda can, thin enough to crease with a fingernail. That thinness is the point, because thin metal sheds heat fast, but it also means the fins fold the instant anything pushes on them. Drive a hard jet of water straight into that wall of them, and they lay over in patches, like grass after somebody parked a car on the lawn. And a folded fin doesn't move air anymore. You just switched off a section of your own radiator. Quick thing before we go further, and it fits right here. All of this, cooling and heating both, the cheap fixes and the exact way to spot the expensive stuff before somebody sells it to you, it's in one plain guide over at radiator.com. It's there if you want it, no pressure. All right, back to your unit. Now, that folded fin I just described isn't a cosmetic thing. It's the first line of a repair bill. Dirt on a coil is bad, but dirt is temporary. Dirt washes off. A bent fin is permanent. Shut enough of those channels, and the heat from inside your house has nowhere to go, so the pressure inside the system starts to climb. Because once that pressure climbs, the compressor, the $2,000 heart of the whole machine, the one part you truly cannot afford to lose, has to shove against it every second it runs. It pulls more electricity to do it, so your meter spins faster and your bill creeps up. It runs longer and hotter, chasing a house that never quite gets cool. And a compressor that spends its summers fighting that kind of pressure is a compressor that gives out years early. Now, I'll be honest with you, because you deserve the whole picture. Bending a few fins on one Saturday isn't going to kill your unit this week. Nobody's air conditioner drops dead from a single afternoon with a jet nozzle. What it does is quieter and worse. It shaves a little life off every season, adds a few dollars to every bill, and then one hot July it finally can't keep up, and the unit that should have run 18 years quits at 10. You never trace it back to the hose. Nobody does. That's exactly why it keeps happening, summer after summer, yard after yard. And there's a version of this that's far worse, so let me just say it plain. If a hard nozzle folds fins, a pressure washer flattens them. A pressure washer will lay a whole side of that unit over in about 4 seconds, and there is no undoing it. I've walked up to units with an entire face crushed flat and shining because somebody figured more pressure had to mean more clean. It doesn't. It means a ruined coil. Never, ever put a pressure washer near that box. If you take one single thing from tonight, take that one. And I'll tell you where that pressure washer idea even comes from, because it isn't stupidity. It's that the outside of a dirty unit looks like a driveway or a set of siding, something you'd blast clean without a second thought. Nobody tells you the thing is a radiator dressed up as a metal box. So the same instinct that gets your patio spotless quietly destroys the most expensive machine in your yard, and the folks selling replacement units are in no hurry to correct you. Now, the jet is the fast way to hurt that unit, but it isn't the only way, and the other one hides in plain sight. It's the dirt itself, and where most of it comes from. That coil fills up with cottonwood, grass clippings, and dog hair every summer, and a lot of it comes straight off your own yard work. The mower throws a fan of clippings right at the side of the unit every time you cut near it. So when you stand out there and spray inward to wash all that off, you actually drive half of it deeper into the fins, packing it into channels a rinse can't reach anymore. So cleaning it the wrong way does two bad things at once. It folds the fins over and it seals the dirt in behind them. The unit ends up choking on both while you walk away thinking you just did it a favor. So how do you know if this is already happening to your unit right now without touching a screwdriver? There are 3 tells, and the whole check takes about a minute. First, next time it's running on a hot afternoon, hold your hand a foot above it where the fan blows up and out. When it's healthy, that air feels genuinely hot because it's carrying your house's heat away like it should. If the air off the top feels weak or barely warm, that heat isn't leaving, and choked fins are the first thing I'd suspect. Second, listen to it over a few days. A unit fighting high pressure runs long and strains, so if it used to cool the house, click off and rest, and now it just grinds on all afternoon and never seems to shut down, that's a machine that can't catch up to itself. Third, walk a slow lap around it and look at the fins in good light. Straight and even, they read like clean brushed metal, top to bottom. Folded, you'll see it plain, matted patches and shiny flattened streaks where something laid them over. See those streaks, and somebody's been cleaning that unit the hard way. And if you want to be sure, there's one more tell that ties the first two together. On a hot afternoon, when the unit's been running a while, put one hand on the copper lines running out of it and just feel the temperature of the air off the top at the same time. A healthy unit is throwing real heat up and out while those lines stay cool to the touch. A choked one does the opposite. The air off the top goes weak because the heat can't escape the fins, and the whole cabinet runs hot and tired trying to make up for it. You don't need a gauge. Your own hand tells you whether that radiator is breathing or suffocating. Now the good news, because I promised you this doesn't have to end at a repair bill. The right way to clean that unit takes about 2 minutes and costs you nothing. I walked through the full steps back in my very first video, and it's linked below if you want them, but the short version is simple. Cut the power at the disconnect box first, always. No exceptions, because you're about to put water near electricity. Then a plain garden hose on the soft, gentle setting, never the jet. Run through the fins from the inside out so the water pushes the dirt back out the way it came instead of packing it deeper. Gentle water, inside to out, all the way around. That's the whole job. That's the exact thing a company pulls into your driveway and charges you $200 for. But that's the unit you haven't hurt yet. If you've already been going at it with a jet, there's still a way back, And whether it costs you $6 or the better part of $1,000 comes down to one thing I'll show you in a second. Let me give you the tool first. And this is that $6 tool I promised you at the top. It's called a fin comb. Any hardware store has one. It's a little plastic tool with rows of teeth at different spacings to match the fins on your unit. You find the row that lines up, set the teeth down into the channels, and draw it straight up through the bent section, and the fins stand right back up. It's slow, it's honestly a little meditative, and it brings back the airflow you crushed. Here's the one thing that decides it, the catch I promised you. A comb fixes bends. It won't fix a fin that's torn clean through, and if you've flattened a whole face with a pressure washer, no comb on earth is bringing that back. That's when a section really does need a pro, or a whole new coil, and that's the $900 I promised you at the start. So the deciding line is simple. Fins that are folded, leaning, matted over, those comb back straight, and you're out $6 and a quiet afternoon. Fins that are torn or crushed flat and shining, those are gone, and that's the better part of $1,000. Same little fin, two completely different Saturdays, and now you know which one you're looking at. So let's put it all together, because it's simpler than any company wants it to feel. Your air conditioner throws its heat away through a radiator of fins as thin as a soda can, and the whole machine lives or dies on those fins staying straight and those channels staying open. A hard jet folds them shut. Spraying inward packs the dirt in behind them. A pressure washer flattens them for good, and a choked unit runs weak, costs you more on every bill, and dies years before it ever should. You can catch all of it in 1 minute with your hand, your ears, and your eyes. And if it's already started, $6 and a slow afternoon undoes most of it. None of this is hidden because it's complicated. It's hidden because a company would rather send a man out to spray your unit for $200 than have you find out that most weeks that machine asks almost nothing of you but a gentle rinse and a careful eye. Now you know what it needs, and just as important, what it can't survive. So go out this weekend, hold your hand over it, take a good look at those fins in the light, and if you see the streaks, you already know what the $6 fix is. Do me a favor down in the comments. Tell me what state you're in and how old your unit is, because I read them and the age tells me a lot about what you're dealing with out there. And if this saved you a service call or a repair bill, do me the favor back and subscribe, because I put one of these out every few days, and the next one might save you a whole lot more than a coil clean. I'm Dutton. Keep your cool, and I'll see you in the next one.